All right. Now I want to talk about why don't I have the mice running around in the house? And in fact, every now and then I do. And why didn't I have the blue tongue running around in a house? A few other things like that. What I'd love to. I've talked about it for many years, but we can only do one step at a time. And so I took steps to hopefully help me take other steps so I can do these other steps, as it is a world of money function to help take steps. Helps you take steps quicker with money, right? And that's why usually you can pass on energy, pass on knowledge, and all that kind of stuff with a nice, neat balance of money. But everything can be used and abused, as I've talked about when it comes to money on this planet so far, and its history of it that repeats, that's caused wars and all sorts of things. When it comes to money, and money causes everything to disappear, which is hilarious, to that stupid bank balance. So how did you go winning? Yep, you won. Now what? And then everyone goes and restarts pretty much, right? That's no good. The money should always be there. Math is always there. Numbers are always there. There is no getting to the ultimate number is cooler or better, or even a good idea to even try. You get too far of overdoing something, become not cool anymore, right? And that's why I pick on the rich people when it comes to the money factor and the problem we're having on this planet and all the rest. So, when it comes to the bears and the balance and all those type of things, we have to work it out collectively. We're getting outcomes collectively because things aren't spoken and put in its right area. And so I'm struggling when it comes to, because of all those things, in the end, to do what I need to do. As it's a collective thing. And so I have to do things step by step as soon as I can, when struggling with health and helping out others around me as well, and try to take these steps as one individual. And I can show that one individual, at least, slowly can get somewhere on making these connections, as I had none. Now I do, right, when it comes to birds and other things. Best way to do things is to learn and make sure that that knowledge passes on truthfully and doesn't get used and abused or collected and stored. When it comes to what some people would say, why would be the universe collecting all the knowledge? What's that for? In the end, perhaps a better universe. After the black hole sucks something up and it goes through another one, it does that. Perhaps it's still trying to get to this equation. And if we did, what does that mean? No more searching. You know what I mean? Perhaps if you get to the point where you're no more searching, which is the lady in that show, I Want to Know, and the he's like, oh, okay, here you go. And then she's like, it turns into the particles, and they go, here's more of what it is in the end, and the recycle, see you later. You wanted to know. You went too far. And you pissed me off. Right? Yeah, Joe's like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I'm going to leave it to it, and I'm not going to go too far in certain areas, as I don't want to piss off the universe, do we? And the balance of things. No one does, because in the end, it gives us an outcome. The universe doesn't too much of anything. Next minute, you have a bucket full of rats overloaded. And what happens when you overload a bucket? And at first, you're like, shit, look, they're hopping over each other. They're getting all right. At first, you can match that in a big scale. It can still work the same way. So it goes for a little while, and then it doesn't. The next minute, they're dying underneath, and there's only some on top. Then after a little while, if you keep them in that same box, you'll start to see other outcomes, and in the end, they're all dead. You'll see the outcomes of how they survive and try to live in that box. It's not a very good one. I say it's not a very big box, and there's not other options to go to, right? As they've gotten themselves to that box because of things around us. And in that case, if they're in that box, it's the greedy human, nasty human overloading. I hope he only needs to, as I've talked about a story when it comes to overloading a box, right? But you want to do it short period, as I had no other ability to do things. But my main goal in the end was to supply and get things right. When I used to supply rats, and I've talked about a story of me overloading a bag for a bike, as I had no help. So I did to the best of my ability and what I thought. And when I did that too, I only ever did it twice, I think. I didn't like it. I don't like it. And so I was starting to hope that I don't want to have to do it much anymore. And in the end, the store ended up leaving anyway, so that was a good thing in that side. I decided I was going to do it where I froze them myself and then keep them and sell them on the internet, but I couldn't do it myself. Right? So I stopped in that area. And then I got sick and other things happened not long after that. So I didn't have to worry about that field too much and got out of that area and didn't have to go back, as I've learnt what I need to learn and felt what I need to feel when I raised rats and bred rats outside. I had them outside in many cages once before. For people in the street who wanted to pet rat, and for breeding, I started learning how to get certain breeds out in colours, stuff like that, and a whole business idea of how I could go that field and everything, come up with the whole works of when I was doing all that kind of thing. But I never really got that far, and I've done that a lot in my life and decided not to head that direction. But I could have succeeded and done quite well in that sector, but it just wasn't for me. But anyway, I thought I'd just chuck out some more bits of blab. As they say, before we go out with a bang is the best way. And pitch which way of a bang you want to go. Shit. Yeah, have a good one. See you later. Keep positive, even when the devil's right at your door. Now, if you go back in clips of mine, it shows me before I decided to be another me. Life experiences changes us. Perhaps we go back a little bit, perhaps we don't. Because of life experiences, we get angry and then we learn to heal over that anger and stuff like that. But life is constant changes, and sometimes if you go through a lot, you'll change a lot. If you go through a lot, if you don't go through a lot, expect not to change a lot. You don't need to. Definitely get happy and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, see you later.